thoughts on trying to reduce the negative advertising in political campaigns? And specifically, would you support legislation criminalizing the act of falsifying or intentionally misleading a candidate's voting record during a campaign?
I would support getting rid of television advertising, but I'm not sure our TV stations would go along with that. Now, clearly there seems to be a gap here between, there doesn't seem to be a system within the First Amendment rights of political speech to say that you have to back things up, that they have to be factual, and that you have to be able to demonstrate those facts. I would support legislation that tied those things together. The way that many other people are subjected to libel, you should be able to show proof that your claims are factual. And I don't believe that's the case today. I mean, I think the television stations will run absolutely anything under the guise of free speech, no matter how far divorced it is from the truth.
Mr. White?
Well, it surely is a tough business, there's no doubt about it. And you have to have some pretty thick skin. I came home the other night and a pit bull growled at me. And I realized that she's been watching all those negative ads against me. I talked to her, she's okay now. Look, there are civil laws and penalties on the books for slander and libel. And I know here in New Mexico, they've been utilized before. Would we like to see that day where all campaigns, all they talked about was your qualifications, your vision? Sure. You know what? But this isn't a beauty contest. And quite frankly, if it was, I think my opponent would win. But it's not a beauty contest. You should know the differences about us. Because at the end of the day, you have to make an informed decision. Because I'll tell you, if you wanted to see a bunch of lies, just allow politicians just to talk about themselves. So, yeah, we need to be careful, obviously. But you have a right to know what the differences are between the candidates. And I've got to tell you, folks, they spend millions and millions of dollars on research with these negative ads. It wouldn't be running them if they didn't work. I can assure you that. But it's just the state of our politics. Sure, we'd all like to see it cleaned up. But at the end of the day, you have a right to know where we stand on issues.
Carry it up, Mr. Heinrich.
Sure. Well, one thing I will tell you is that we intend to close this campaign positively. And you're going to see a positive message from me in the next 10 days, saying what I actually want to do with this country, the changes I want to make in this country. And what I would challenge my opponent is I have yet to see one ad that said on the television, what are you going to do for us? How are you going to change this country? How are you going to make it better? Not a single ad. And finally, I would close with, I do think we need to make the 527s, the swift boat groups, apply the same rules to them that us as candidates have to abide by.
Mr. White, carry it up.
Mark, you're kind of trying to portray yourself now as you've been running a positive campaign because you're going to spend a couple $100 this last week to run some positive ads when you've run $3 million worth of negative ads against me. Let me remind you, if you walk in and rob a bank and an hour later you take the money back, you're still a bank robber. Okay? And if you've run $3 million in negative ads, you still have run a negative campaign. You know, folks, as we said, it's a tough business. You would hope that candidates were providing you accurate information, and you should judge those candidates on that. I'm going to follow up with one more thing. Mark, you said about the terrorist surveillance program. You know what? That's a law that allows us to track known terrorists. Our soldiers are now